It looks like it hasn't been used for a very long time. I'm about to change that. My dry sponge is now a wet sponge. What's her problem? That must be the shopkeeper with a whistle hung around her neck. She looks a bit nervous. I wonder if that's because of me. My mama. Walking maps of the area. Indispensable for a suspected murderer out on bail, like myself. The shopkeeper's looking at me like I'm a thief. Or worse. The shopkeeper's looking at me like I'm a thief. Or worse. Hello.
What do you want?
This is a shop, isn't it? Then maybe I want to buy something?
Okay.
I'm Darren, by the way.
I know exactly who you are.
Oh, really? Who am I then?
You're the arsonist who was in the newspaper.
I'm not gonna set your shop on fire. Anyway, I'm innocent.
Oh, I'm sure you are. But please, don't stay too long. Otherwise, I will have to call the police.
Yeah, right.
And without a telephone, I'll just use my whistle.
What is this? Willow Creek's main shopping drag?
Oh, we've got everything that people need here. Usually, you can order too, but then it'll be delivered.
That won't be necessary. I'm just having a look around. The old woman who just ran out. Could it be that she's a little crazy?
Dorothy? Oh no, she's just as crazy as you are. I mean, she's fine. The whistle was her idea.
Are you scared of me?
Of course not. I've got my whistle. As soon as anyone comes too close, I blow it. And it's so loud, even the gravedigger in Wormhill can hear it.
Clever, Abaya.
How do you know my name?
You've got that little badge on?
Oh, yeah.
By the way, your name's quite uncommon, Abaya. Where does it come from?
It's Indian. Don't you like it?
Oh, I do. It sounds very pretty. Does it mean anything?
The fearless one.
I'd like to buy one of these walking maps.
Please, take it. You don't need to come to the till. It's on the house.
Oh. Thank you very much. See ya.
I hope not. I hope you only want to cut up veggies with that. Sir?
Some very nice knives. Tea, 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 and, oh, look, tea. That'll have gherkins in it. All the most important newspapers are there. The Final Times, The Moon, Daily Black Mirror, and the Willow Creek Telegraph. instant porridge, soup in packets, and masses of powdered pudding. The infamous English cuisine at a glance. It's the news on a news channel. I assume it's gonna be like that all day. Maybe they show documentaries about heavy trucks or aircraft carriers in between the bulletins. But I'm not interested. Yeah, that's how I like vegetables. Microwave ready on top of a steak. A hint of France in Willow Creek. Various smoking products. Tobacco, cigars, stuff for pipes. The inhabitants of Willow Creek seem to really enjoy smoking. That's a Transylvanian-sized portion of garlic. We can assume the shop won't be attacked by vampires. Brandy, spirits, and various types of whiskey. Everything an aching heart could wish for. Candy for kids, although I haven't seen a single one so far. This open bag of coffee beans makes the shop smell real nice. A random selection. There's everything from romantic novels to Zen guidebooks. Huge eggs from huge chickens. I don't know why, but I find that funny. Some very nice knives. The cafe's still closed. The cafe's... Fresh vegetables. A very paltry selection. I prefer the frozen variety. The cafe's still closed. You could sit and eat here. There's nothing to buy anymore, though. The sorry remains of a sorry annual fair. I don't think there's anything useful here. A barrel. It says Willow Creek Corner Shop on it. A piece of thin board. Ah, it's a menu. They probably don't need it anymore. A narrow, thin board. I found it amongst the remains of the fair. I'll have time. It says 3 kegs, probably of beer. Probably belongs to a fisherman.
Mr. Jones from the law firm Jones & Partners.
Hello, Mr. Jones. Darren Michaels here. I was told you wanted to speak to me?
Ah, Mr. Michaels, yes. The investigations are stagnating, rather. As long as there's no evidence for the allegations brought against you, you can't be charged. So that's good. On the other hand, your fellow countrymen want to step into the ring, too. The American embassy is on our back. That's not so good.
And what does that mean exactly?
Well, that you're going to have to sit tight in Willow Creek for quite a while. Inspector Spooner's investigation methods. You implied the last time that you weren't too happy with him?
Yes, it seems to me that Spooner isn't really bothered anymore.
Inspector Spooner just wanted to produce a guilty party and then get the case closed as soon as he could. He has to produce results so that he can get back to London. But he's rather used up all his ammo. Now he's hoping that the embassy will take the case off him so that he doesn't have to chalk it up as a failure.
So he doesn't really seem to be interested in the truth.
Well, the truth, Mr. Michaels, as is generally known, is the invention of a liar. But the fact you've got bail is a good sign. And that someone's been found to pay for it is even better. Perhaps you should have a look yourself, now that you've been released, for some clues or slip-ups in the investigation. Would be best if you could get a copy of your files.
Are you convinced that I'm innocent, Mr. Jones?
Of course, Mr. Michaels. Do you think I could represent you if I wasn't? Nevertheless, we should hurry up and find some solid evidence to prove it.
This somebody who you maintain means well has paid the bail anonymously. Can you find out who it was?
No problem. But it'll take a couple of days.
How long do I have to put up with this psychotherapy?
You're gonna have to hang in there for a few more rounds at least. It's in your best interest.
The last assessment was rejected. What good can it do?
Forget about the authorities. You ever thought that you might actually need therapy?
Do you think I'm crazy?
Aren't we all? But seriously, Mr. Michaels, try and do something about your mental condition. If you end up having to face a lawsuit in the States, your family's mental history isn't going to impress the jury one bit. So stop blocking shots and come out from behind your guard, man.
You said I should have another look at my file. Is it really so easy to do that?
Well, it depends on the inspector in charge. But if you flatter him a little, he might let you have a look. Otherwise, I could request a copy and send it on to you.
That's gonna take too long. I'll try to get my hands on it myself. Mr. Jones, did you find out anything about my identity? The police here don't seem to be putting any effort into it.
Yes. Concerning your identity, Mr. Michaels, it's hard to prove anything at the moment. Find documents, birth certificates, that kind of thing. But don't forget to go to your therapy sessions.
Whatever. I'll be in touch.
Keep your head up. Attack is the best form of defense.
A fortune teller's business card. Madam for... hello?
Welcome to Madame Fortuna's.
Yeah, hi. My name's Adrian.
Stop. Speak no more, Adrian. I know why you're calling.
Oh, really?
You want to find out about your future.
Yes.
Adrian, you've come to the right place. I will read your cards for today. Pick a card.
Over the phone.
Say stop.
Stop.
I've drawn the tower.
And I've put the pawn on A3.
Tarot, Adrian, not chess. There will be drastic changes to your life. And I see death.
Great.
You will be ripped apart by wild beasts.
Wild beasts? Huh.
But Adrian, there is something you can do about it.
Really? What then?
Stay away from beasts.
Yeah. Thanks. What a load of crap. At last, a ray of sunshine. I was beginning to think there were only gross-looking guys with alcohol problems living in this dump. Hi, I'm...
I know. I recognize you from the newspaper.
And you're not gonna run away screaming?
I'd have a lot of running to do if I ran away from every weirdo in this dump.
You really like living here, huh? Has anything exciting happened recently?
Apart from the fire at the castle? Wait a minute. Yeah, the espresso machine broke down.
Has this cafe been here long? I've never noticed it before.
We were closed during the fair this year.
Is it even worth having a cafe here in the village?
You'll have to ask my dad. It's his cafe. Why do you ask? Do you want to open one too?
Yeah, sure. Right next door. A Blackmere special cafe with ritual blood cappuccino and latte morbidato.
Good idea. Could have come from Murray.
By the way, I'm Darren. Or Adrian Gordon. Take your pick.
I'm Denise, or the one who's got no time for insane arsonists. Take your pick.
Wow. I think I prefer Denise.
All right then, Darren.
So, what's a young woman like you doing in a place like this? Not one for city living?
Hell yeah. I'm just waiting for the right moment.
You mean when the twice-yearly bus to London stops here?
Something like that.
Maybe I'll see you later. I think the door leads into the storeroom. At least that's what this sign suggests. I wouldn't know what I'm supposed to look for in there. That's cheap. Do you have a moment, Inspector?
If you're quick.
Why do you dislike me?
I'm a cop. You're a criminal.
Come on, a little bit of friendliness never hurt anyone.
Miss Valley was friendly.
It wasn't me! How many times do I have to tell you? Can I have a look at my file?
Why? Have you forgotten something you've done?
Apart from the fact that it wasn't me?
No, you can't have a look.
Could you make me a copy of it then?
Of course not. That's a police file.
That's all for now.
I'm keeping my eye on you.
Hello, Doctor? Can I ask you a quick question?
Of course. Come on in.
Doctor?
What's troubling you, Adrian?
Do you believe me?
Darren, Adrian, we've gone through this so many times before. Of course I believe you.
Then why am I still on the hit list?
I'm a doctor, not a judge. By the way, they rejected the assessment of your not being of sound mind.
Rejected? But what about the awful nightmares?
That kind of reaction is only normal, Adrian. If somebody suddenly revealed to me that I was descended from a long line of bloodthirsty murderers, I'd have nightmares too.
How come you ended up here in the first place?
A colleague of mine I'd known from my student days. A doctor. Heinz Hermann. Once worked here in the sanatorium. He was a friend of the Gordons. Then, 12 years ago, those dreadful murders took place. Heinz was one of the victims. I came here to give his family and the others a little spiritual support, and I'm still here. That's just how life goes sometimes.
This Spooner reckons he's a bit of a big shot.
He's one of those people who pack their own bags and then complain when they're too heavy.
What kind of bags?
Oh, he mucked something up in London and was posted here as punishment. Something he's not dealing with too well.
What did he do? Book the wrong guy?
You know about it? Well, Mr. Spooner is a bit of a trigger-happy cowboy. As far as I know, he overstepped his authority back in London, and that led to some guilty people getting off. Or maybe the other way round. However, I'm not exactly right in the picture with all this.
Oh, great. A bad-natured investigator who can't tell the difference between guilty and innocent. I couldn't have come up against a better guy. Get this, I've been released on bail.
Well, that's a good reason to celebrate.
I'm not quite so sure. The bail was paid anonymously. You know anything about that by any chance?
Anonymously? No. Who'd do something like that?
No idea. To be honest, I'd hoped you were behind it. You like living in Willow Creek?
Yes, I like the life and the people. It's like time stood still here.
And every few years, along comes some psycho and murders half a dozen locals.
Yes, well, compared to the murder statistics in London, it's a proper holiday here.
Do you see me as being an arsonist?
Judging by your nightmares, you do at least seem to have a violence-orientated imagination.
Yeah, but Stephen King has that too.
As far as I'm aware, he has never been under suspicion of an arson attack resulting in 3 dead.
Whose side are you actually on?
On your side, Adrian.
Good. I swear to you that I've only ever told you the truth.
There are as many truths as there are people, Adrian, and we still have to find yours.
I had a strange experience earlier. It was just like one of my nightmares, but this time I was awake. It was in the police station, just as I was wanting to pick up my stuff. I suddenly found I had awesome strength. I dragged the guy to me through the bars and rammed my pencil into his eye. Wham! Then it was all over. It was just so real. Scary.
You don't say.
Oh, great. So I'm cursed and possessed.
I was talking to a colleague about you the other day. She's how shall I put it? She understands alternative therapies.
What's that all about then? Drugs? Electric shock? Voodoo?
Hypnosis.
You're not serious.
It would at least be a possible way of finding out more.
Well, for my part, as long as you don't saw open the top of my skull. These sessions, how long are they supposed to continue for?
What do you mean?
Well, I've been coming here every day for the past 3 weeks, but I'm still having nightmares every night, and the assessment says I'm 100% fit.
We ought to try hypnosis.
And what's that supposed to do? You want to join in on my nightmares?
Let's just try it tomorrow. If we can get to your roots, then perhaps we'll understand what your dreams are trying to tell us.
Boo! That's what they want to tell us. The dreams, I mean. Well, okay then, Doc. If you think that this might help me in some way. Catch you later.
Take care.
My adoptive mother had a lamp like that. I always had fun hiding in it when I was a kid. You could hardly call this straggle of flowers a bouquet. Dr. Winterbottom writes down a patient's dreams in the green books, but I haven't seen anyone else but me here yet. Strange. Shame. No donuts left. Hello? Are you out of donuts?
No, there are some in the storeroom, but they're reserved for the nice inspector. He buys them here every morning.
Of course. And what if I want one too?
Then bake one yourself.
When does the inspector usually come in?
He should have been here to pick up his donuts ages ago. He's probably been delayed by the scum of the earth. Again.
Nice description.
That's what Conrad calls his clientele, not me.
Conrad?
Conrad Spooner. That's what the inspector's called. Didn't you know?
I didn't know that donuts was so popular in England.
I don't know, but I do know that Spooner loves them. Just as much as those cops in American TV shows.
And what does the dear inspector do when there aren't any donuts left?
He always gets what he wants. If need be, I bake him some.
I'd like a coffee, black.
Coming up.
Okay, I've got to come up with something that's gonna make Spooner hang out here in the cafe for a while. A high-performance chest freezer with a glass lid. Not a lot in it. A pack of tart bases. Oh, and a box of ice cream. Mint and chocolate. The seal is in really bad shape. If it gets wet, you probably wouldn't be able to get the chest open anymore. A shelf full of stock for the cafe. What have we got here? Coffee, tea, juice, milk. Ah, and a package of donuts. There are things like coffee, tea, juice, and... There are things like coffee, tea, juice, and milk on the shelf. There are things like coffee... donuts. Basic nutrition for cops like Spooner. I'll put the box of donuts in a nice visible spot in the freezer. I'll wet the ceiling rubbers with the wet sponge. If you close the freezer now, the water will freeze and it'll be almost impossible to open it again without defrosting the whole thing. Farewell, you donuts. Nobody's gonna be getting you out of there in a hurry. Now that ought to slow down the inspector's donut order somewhat.
Another one of these flat days today. I could really do with something to lift me up a little.
Edward could come along at any time. Better if we wait till this evening.
Sod Edward. Give me a couple of donuts at least.
Yeah, sure. I'll get you some. Conrad, your donuts seem to have ended up in the freezer.
Yeah? But can't you boil them in the oven for a bit?
The problem is, the lid's frozen solid.
Ah, I get it. You want me to help you warm up your frozen chest?
I think those two are gonna be busy for a while. Can I ask you something briefly?
Hmm?
Can you make a copy of my file and send it to my lawyer?
Didn't he get one ages ago?
He, wants to have the current version for the embassy.
Not possible.
Something wrong?
I'd forgotten. The copier gave up the Ghost a few weeks back, but there's a new one on order.
Are you being serious?
It's not so bad. I have so little to do here, I could type up most of the documents.
I understand. So, would you be so kind as to type my file?
No.
And what if I fix that thing?
All right then, you go and see what you can do with it.
Goodbye, Constable. It can't be that difficult to fix a copier. I studied it once. Well, kind of. What if we got here? The fuse has blown. Switch to turn it on, and you press the green button to copy. If I twist and connect the wires that work, it should be able to copy again. That should do it. Can I ask you something briefly? The copier's working again. Now can you copy my file?
Sure. Then I'll send the copy to your lawyer. The copy of your file?
Then I can send it myself.
The inspector insists that no files can leave the building without authorization.
I see. Damn. Constable? When does the mail go? My lawyer needs the file as soon as possible.
I'll post it later on. It ought to be collected this afternoon.
Thanks. How involved were you in the investigation of my case?
I searched the sewer system and the bunker.
And you didn't find any clues?
No.
That just can't be true.
It's bloody dark down there, Mr. Michaels, and full of rats. Not for the faint-hearted.
Is there anything new on the kidnapping? Have you spoken to Tom, Bobby, or the kid in Wales?
According to the statement, Tom was at Alton Towers with Bobby at the time.
And you don't find it a little bit strange that those two went to a theme park?
The only strange thing was that Bobby was in hospital for 2 days afterwards with concussion. But we've got a medical certificate that proves that.
And what if Tom was lying?
We can't prove it. He had 2 tickets for the theme park and the paperwork from the hospital.
Damn. And the boy?
There's no one called Van Helsing in Wales.
Goodbye, Constable. The board is just the right size. It'll go straight on top of the mailbag, so that when the constable posts a letter, I can easily pull it out again. It worked. Let's see what's in here. Friday afternoon, 12:30. Oh, they must have discovered the body then. The time of death from this valley was the previous evening, Thursday, between 10 and midnight. Cause of death, burned alive after a blow to the back of the head. Grim. Witness interviews. Let's see. Not important. Saw nothing. It continues. Friday, 1837. Emergency services called out. At that time, I was in the ruins of the old academy with Angelina, Lewis, and my mother. Then, Saturday, 12:06 a.m. Fire under control. At that time, I was running from the ruins in the direction of the castle. 3 bodies were retrieved. Lady Eleanor Gordon, Edward Bartholomew Bates, the butler, and Sally Wood, the cook. 1 survivor, Lady Victoria Gordon, suffering from severe smoke inhalation. Also on Saturday morning, 12:12 a.m., Darren Michaels arrested on suspicion of arson and murder of Miss Valley. Witness interviews on the subject unproductive, and Lady Victoria Gordon could not as yet be questioned. She remains in shock. After a 2-week period of hospitalization, was discharged of her own wishes to continue medical supervision at home. Hey, it says here that Murray can't remember having seen me in the hotel on Thursday evening. That can't be right. That was exactly when he threw me out of the hotel. Oh, the rat was lying. Just wait. Evidence still insufficient to charge, but strongly suspected of crime. Current state of the investigation. Darren Michaels' conduct, as well as his contradictory testimony, is currently being examined for plausibility by the psychiatric expert, Dr. Joyce Winterbottom. Here's a note to Constable Zach. If he's diagnosed as nuts, will he have to be remanded in a loony bin? Possible murder weapon, a torch, still smoldering, which was in Darren Michaels' possession when apprehended. He is undergoing forensic examination. Deportation to USA not possible. Release of the suspect on bail on direction of the court. Dr. Winterbottom authorized as prime supervisory agent and point of referral. Good, and I've got 2 new goals already. Visit Victoria and see how she's doing, and let Murray know what I think. I'll write in the file so I don't forget. There are enough empty pages. I can stash the remains of my diary away with it as well. Then let's see what Murray's got to say in his defense. Definitely not drinking water.
Mr. Michaels! Welcome back to Gordon's Palace. We missed you here.
How's that? The last time we saw each other was Thursday, 3 weeks ago, when you threw me out of the hotel.
Thrown out of the hotel? How did that happen then?
The thing with the sewers, the secret entrance in Angelina's room. That ring any bells?
Really? Oh yes, there was something. Ah, well, please excuse me. I did overreact a little. I hope you're not going to bear a grudge, though, Mr. Michaels. I'm very happy to make things up with you. You'll also understand that I couldn't hold your reservation for such a long period. Unfortunately, your room is occupied at the moment. But you can have another, a bigger, nicer one, for a small price, really. And for such a room, a ridiculously tiny price.
So you've remembered then? Very good. Then please go right back to the police and tell them that you know exactly where I was on the evening that Miss Valley was murdered.
Was that the same day? Are you sure? Now, it may well have been. I don't pay much attention to that kind of thing. Why should I? It's really nothing to do with me.
Two-faced snake! I insist you march down to the inspector and tell him you want to change your statement.
Mr. Michaels, you're free. I don't understand your problem.
I'm only out on bail.
Oh, My congratulations. Oh, I'm sure that wasn't cheap. However, in spite of that, I still don't see why I should get involved with things that don't concern me.
You can't be serious. Thanks to you, I've just spent the past 3 weeks sitting in a cell as an innocent man.
Mr. Michaels, I really am extremely sorry, but I can't fulfill your request. My own credibility would be on the line if I were to simply change my mind. Unless...
Unless what? Come on, spit it out and quit playing around, you pathetic little blackmailer. Otherwise, I promise you that the murder series will continue. Here and now. No. Admittedly, I'd be the last one who's standing in your way. But a man's gotta do what a man's gotta do, isn't that so? All the same, I would like a photo of you. Nothing sensational. Maybe somewhere in the woods with a knife in your hand. So they can send me straight into the madhouse. No way.
Okay, think about it. A watertight alibi for a tiny little amusing photo. It's not a bad exchange.
You are one nasty dirtbag, Murray. You know that?
I'll even give you a camera to take it with. My best one.
Yeah. Does it still work using a lever?
It's a collector's piece. One of the first instant film cameras on the European market. An SX-70. And still in great condition, too. 15 years ago, a very well-groomed gentleman handed it over to me as a deposit in my pawn shop. He never picked it up again. So, you can say that I obtained it quite legitimately. And now, I entrust you with it. Pay attention, I'll tell you how it works.
That's okay. I'll work it out. If I choose to use it.
But that's not all. I've got another present for you. Here, a brand new rucksack. And free food and lodgings for as long as you wish, Mr. Michaels. Accept it as a peace offering and reparations for the trouble with the statement.
You really are a few cards short of a full deck.
Mr. Michaels, wait!
What do you want now?
Forget the woods. In front of the castle would definitely have much more impact. The photo, I mean.
And people think I'm crazy. A rucksack with a contorted image of my father's face on it. I'm not sure Murray's actually allowed to sell crap like this. Whatever, I'll sue him for that later. First of all, let's see what's inside. The floor plan of the hotel. All of the rooms are drawn on it. Huh, Murray's office is right next to my room. Back there's just a little sitting area. 2 armchairs, a table, a shelf with books. Boring. The room looks almost exactly the same as the other one I had 3 weeks ago. I bet Murray got a discount on the interior decoration. While I'm here, I may as well put away the stuff I don't want to carry around with me. Murray, my favorite hotelier. Obliging, helpful, polite, and always on the lookout to maximize his profits on the back of crime. Hi, Murray.
Oh, the esteemed Mr. Michaels. What's on your mind?
Do you know the inspector, Mr. Spooner?
Oh, yes, I certainly do. He was here twice. Took half the hotel apart. A terribly inconsiderate fellow. But good for business, too. How often, as a tourist, do you have the chance to see this kind of an investigation firsthand? Unfortunately, he confiscated all of your and Miss Angelina's personal effects. Means I can only display replicas in the museum.
What bad luck. So, anything exciting happen?
You mean, apart from Miss Valley's murder and the castle burning down and 3 people losing their lives? Well, the fair's finished. In its place, we now have a new exhibition in the Willow Creek Museum of Modern Murder. It's opening in a few days. Oh, you should definitely see that. It's worth it.
Oh yeah. For you? Most definitely. This photo of me that you've pictured.
Only a small favor. A tiny exertion on your part. Nothing huge. You just have to smear yourself with a little blood and swing a knife about. In a scary sort of way, of course.
Well, naturally. Oh, and best naked under a full moon by the lighthouse, yeah?
You're the pro. I trust your aesthetic sense completely.
Who's guaranteeing that you won't immediately run to the cops with it?
And what would I get out of that? You're judging me completely wrongly. Anyway, anyone would see that it's completely staged. I don't want anything authentic, rather something somewhat stylized, like for a movie poster.
You want to make a poster out of it?
I'm thinking more of a life-sized cardboard figure for the hotel entrance. Well, if you wouldn't have anything against that.
Do what you want. Just make sure you change your statement at the police station.
Understood.
But you know I had nothing to do with the fire, don't you?
Yes, well, according to the papers...
Yeah, the British tabloid press is world-renowned for its believability.
Well, of course, they don't always have the whole truth in there, but the headlines do help me to keep the hotel going.
In this case, at my expense. See you, Murray.
Back to work.
I've no idea where that path leads. Before I get myself lost in the woods, I'd rather stay on the road. Whoever drives here with a car is either quite brave or quite stupid. spectacular backdrop, huh? But as I'm already here, I ought to look in on Lady Victoria and ask how she's doing. The lock looks way sturdier than it used to be. I'm not going to be able to get it open without a lot of hassle for sure. Oh, we've got a new doorbell with an intercom system.
Who's there?
My name's Adrian Gordon. I'd like to see Lady Victoria, please. Hello?
Come in, Mr. Lady Victoria has just woken up.
Yes, of course.
Please excuse the chaos. The builders are working on the renovations.
You're looking after Lady Victoria?
Yes. I'm a trained nurse of your...
great-grandmother.
I take care of all of your great-grandmother's needs.
Thank you, Miss...
Angelina. Sister Angelina.
Thank you, Sister Angelini. Can I just ask you something? Do you think that being in the middle of a construction site is the right place for such an old lady?
Lady Victoria was most insistent that she be moved back into the castle. She said that she'd been born here and that she wanted to die here. And the walls here are rather thick. She doesn't hear that much. At least she hasn't complained as of yet.
How is Lady Victoria?
As well as can be expected. She's not speaking to me, unfortunately. Perhaps you'll have better luck.
God, it's like a death chamber in here. Oh, I can feel a chill right to my heart. I can only hope Victoria gets better soon. Victoria, my great-grandmother, and the only member of my family I've got left. A picture of a woman in white. Looks like a kind of wedding dress. That's William's name at the bottom in the corner. My great-grandfather must have painted it. Is that supposed to be Victoria in her younger years? Weird. She looks like Angelina. Or is that the other way around? Same genes after all. Is that supposed to be Victoria in her younger years? Weird. She looks like Angelina. Or is that the other way around? Same genes after all. Hello, Victoria? It's me, Adrian. Did you put up the bail for me? Being well looked after? Victoria, are you okay? Victoria, I need your help. Really. The police don't believe me. How can I make them understand that I'm Adrian Gordon when the name Darren Michaels is printed in my passport? Victoria, you're the only one who can help me. Please. I'm sorry about what happened to Bates, Eleanor, and Sally. It must be awful for you.
Adrian, tell me the truth. Was it you? Did you start the fire?
No, Victoria, it wasn't me. It was Lewis. He did what Angelina told him to do. She was behind all the murders. It was her who also lured me here because she needed me for, you know, the curse which only affects the male Gordons. She wanted to achieve what Samuel was trying to prevent. She was possessed by it. She lied to me, to all of us.
What's all that, Adrian? You sound like a coward. It wasn't me. It was Angelina. Why should I believe you? Why have you come here at all? Things were going well for you in America. If you'd only just stayed there, Bates would still be alive. Eleanor, Catherine, Miss Valley. You're too weak. You can't stand up to Mordred. His ghost rides you like a child rides a rocking horse. Since you've turned up, there's been nothing but calamity. Just disappear again, Adrian. Do me a favor and go back to where you came from before the other half of the castle goes up in flames.
What have you done to her?
Nothing at all. I've been talking with her, that's all.
You'd better go now. Your great-grandmother needs peace and quiet.
Yes, I'm sorry. I didn't want that. I'm sorry.
Just go, please.
Now, it's not just everyone in the village that hates me. The only remaining member of my family, too. Real good job, Darren. If I wasn't already doing it, I'd be signing up for therapy right away. Oh well, here goes nothing. Hi, Murray.
Oh!
The woods around Willow Creek are pretty gloomy.
The woods are quite exceptional, I'll have you know. Full of ghosts and demons, if you like to believe the local folklore. The perfect backdrop for all of the grisly murders that have happened here and are, regrettably, yet to come.
You can hardly wait, right?
I've lived here long enough to know that patience is a virtue.
Why don't you go out and kill a few people yourself if you're so hot on it all?
I'm a businessman, not a murderer. A small...
So there, you've got your stupid photo. Happy?
Oh, I can hardly recognize a thing.
Me in front of the castle as agreed? Okay, off to the cops, Murray.
I'm sure you know how important my exonerating statement in the Valley murder case is.
Murray...
Okay, I'll take it.
First, go to the police station.
All right, then, I'll go today. I'm an honorable businessman.
And I'm a possessed madman.
I suggest taking a rest in your room first, and then when you wake up, everything will have been sorted with the police.
I really could use some sleep. Huh. Someone shoved something under the door. I can help you prove your innocence because I believe in your innocence. But I have to be able to trust you too. We can't meet yet, which is why I'm just gonna send you clues. If you want to take up my offer, then you'll find the first lead at your father's grave. Huh, that's a bit confusing. Who's this message from? Murray? He doesn't have an interest in proving my innocence. And anyway, he would just tell me himself. But who else knows I'm living here in the hotel? I need to follow this up carefully, and I ought to find out where the graveyard is around here. Hi, Murray.
Oh, the esteemed Mr. Michael.
Murray, do you know where the local graveyard is?
A graveyard? Didn't you want to take a rest?
I'm not up for resting anymore.
I'm sure you can't mean the graveyard behind the hotel. It's being redone right now.
It's being what?
I've had it removed for the time being so I can relocate it in a sensational new setting. It means I can charge more for some of the rooms with views over the Gordon graveyard.
You've had the Gordon family graves leveled?
To be quite honest, there was only Lothar Gordon's grave there, the founder of the original sanatorium. The family crypt is in the churchyard at Wormhill.
Ah, right. In Warm Hill, then. Is this note here from you?
Pardon? No, I speak to my guests personally when I've got something for them.
Was there anyone here asking for me earlier?
No, you're simply not well known enough. But that'll soon change, believe me.
See you, Murray.
Back to work.
A big trolley for the masses of baggage the tourists that flock through here have with them. Murray always did have a bit of a tendency towards delusions of grandeur. I've no idea where that path leads. Before I get myself lost in the woods, I'd rather stay on the road. Bare wooden pews. Very inviting. They really make you want to kneel down. There are some phrases from the Bible engraved in this. Behold the Lamb of God that taketh away the sin of the world, says John 1 verse 29. For to me to live is Christ and to die is gain, says Philip, also 1 verse 21. For many are called, but few are chosen, Matthew blah blah blah. The Lord is with me, I will not be afraid. Psalms 118, verse 6. There are some phrases from the Bible engraved in this. Behold the Lamb of God that taketh away the sin of the world, says John 1 verse 29. For to me to live is Christ and to die is gain, says Philip, also 1 verse 21. For many are called, but few are chosen, Matthew, blah blah blah. The Lord is with me, I will not be afraid. Psalms 118, verse 6. Who's that? That doesn't look like the priest. Hey, you there. Good morning.
What the? Whoa, I'm sorry, lad. I must have nodded off.
In the confession box?
The bench has a cushion on it, at least.
You're not the priest, are you?
God forbid. I'm Mark, the grave digger.
Do you know Wormhill well?
Of course, but it's just a few houses on the back of the woods. There's more life in here, I tell you. Are you looking for something in particular?
No, I'm just trying to get an idea of the place.
Looking around this graveyard will give you a better idea of the place. And should you want to reserve yourself a spot here, then let me know. I recommend the southern slope. That's the best location.
Thanks for the tip, but I'm in no hurry to die just yet.
But maybe death's in a hurry to come and get you.
What is it you actually do all day?
Answer stupid questions.
I mean, digging graves can't be all you do.
Yeah, you're right, lad. I don't just dig. I repair things too, keep the church in order, guard the graves. And if you think that the weeds grow on their own around here, then think again. It ain't weeds, and it don't grow on its own. But who's interested anyway?
What did you mean by that? You guard the graves?
Well, because of the clientele. So they don't get dug up. By dogs and the like.
Which dogs?
Well, strays from around here. For them, a graveyard is like
an underground hot dog stand?
Yeah, exactly. With bloody tough sausages.
You must have a lot to do around here, being the gravedigger.
Oh, that's right. My job here is quite secure.
Can you tell me anything about the church?
What do you mean then, lad? Who built it? It certainly wasn't me, even if I might look that old. Must have been around the time Marcus Gordon was alive. Have you seen the dark part of the tower up there?
Yes.
He ran out of stone, and they say he took stones from his castle walls to finish it off. Demolished his own castle to finish the church.
A model Christian.
Perhaps his time was running out. Got himself buried in there in the end.
A crypt that's 100 feet tall with an altar and a bell tower, all for him alone. What a modest man.
All those toffs are. No, he treated himself to an extra crypt underneath the nave. But it caved in 12 years ago. Nobody can get in there anymore.
It's quite a woody area.
That's also supposed to be the reason it's such a bloody area.
The evil of the woods? People around here read too many horror stories.
Or have experienced it themselves. Have you been in the woods here at night?
No.
They say there's plenty to see. Murderous lords of the castle. The undead. Mordred's voracious hellhounds. There are many stories about it. Probably as many stories as there are people here.
The woods around Willow Creek strike me as being particularly creepy.
Yes, and the number of wild boars in there is uncanny. I've known them to trample down my fences to get at the clientele, but I've got some crafty traps set up. I'm looking forward to having a roast. The priest gave his permission.
You don't happen to know, being the gravedigger and all, where Samuel Gordon's grave is? He must have been buried in 1981.
That's a tough one, lad. So many people died here 12 years ago, good and evil alike, in the strangest of circumstances. I really can't remember who ended up where. You'd be better off talking to Father Frederick, the priest. Perhaps he can remember.
Where would I find the priest then?
Today? Well, you won't find him at all. He left around midday. Some conference or other. Supposed to be back by noon tomorrow, though.
I'd better be going.
Keep your eyes peeled, lad.
Oh, is it that late already? Gravestones without names. Gravestones without names. This certainly isn't a well-groomed graveyard. Most of the graves are overgrown with twining weeds and roots. Gravestones without names. The gravedigger mentioned something about wild boars rampaging around here, but they must have been really big specimens and damn wild too. And of all places, they chose to run wild here. Strange. That's William Gordon's grave, my great-grandfather. He died in August 1981. No idea why he wasn't buried in the family crypt. That's William Gordon's grave, my great-grandfather. He died in August 1981. No idea why he wasn't buried in the family crypt. Locked. That's probably the priest's house back there. Those must be wild boars. There's supposed to be plenty of them around here. Why should I go into the middle of the woods? Or demonic hellhounds, as they say in the local fables. Why should I go into the middle of the woods? I better get up. Before the storm, I think I better wait until those beasts have lost their appetite. Oh, that's better. I can see now. What the hell? A rusty old garden implement. Damn, don't say somebody lives here. There's something lying under the bed, but I can't get at it. Gotcha. A cardboard box. Somebody scribbled something on the lid. I can't decipher it. The word definitely begins with an R, though. Let's take a look inside. A rag doll. Pretty ugly and worn out. I recognize it. I've seen it before. It was Ralph's. Yep, that's his doll. Mr. Bubby, or whatever he called it. Strange. How'd it get here? And why has Ralph left it? I mean, he never used to go anywhere without it. What else have we got? A luminous sticker with a smiley on it. And a cork from a bottle. This must be Ralph's shack. Or his hideaway. A peculiar shadow. I think I know where that mysterious shadow's coming from. Well, how about that? And so the key falls into my possession. A box that's just rotten away. Don't want to know what's in that. Oh well, let's take a look then. Damn it, locked. Fits. As I thought, full of junk. So Damn. That looks like one of the robes and the masks from the order that was after me. Huh. But at the same time, it's also proof that the order existed. I'll take it with me. There's some paper in the robe. Seems to be a letter to the order. Quite badly torn. Unable to stop the evil, already sacrificed. His objective, or something happens to me. No trace is to be... I'm not completely certain, but it appears to be a request to cover up all traces of the order. That would explain why the robe is in the shack. I'll put it back. Perhaps I'll find something useful after all. A corkscrew and a yardstick. They look in reasonable shape. I'll take them. Whoa, a chainsaw. I've got a feeling that this baby's gonna come in handy. I'm guessing that's paint thinners or gasoline for cleaning stuff. Ugh, smells something like that at least. The tank's just about half full. Hopefully that'll be enough. All right, that ought to hold. Now we can get going. A file. Huh. The escape tool of choice. In the comics, at least. The floorboards here sure creak loudly. The floorboards here sure creak loudly. Interesting. There's at least half a meter of space below the boards. The shack must have been built on stilts. The next time I'm being pursued by hellhounds and hide in a shack, I'll look out for that as I go in. I'll just cut myself a trapdoor in the floor. It can also be closed again in an emergency. Sneak outside through the hole. Good. Let's try it. I'm better leaving the heavy junk here. Good. No wild beasts for miles. Weird. No tracks. The beasties couldn't have just disappeared into thin air. No!
Describe what you saw.
I saw myself as a child. I was playing with my sister in the woods. It's not far away from the castle. I could see it behind the trees. There was a man there, too.
Could you make out who it is?
No, he had his back to me. But something very bad has happened.
What's happened?
My sister, she's fallen in a hole. She's screaming. What should I do?
Adrian, you're not there anymore. Remember what you did at the time.
I ran to the hole, and I don't know. I can't remember. You woke me up before I could help her.
I didn't wake you up, Adrian. You woke up of your own accord. It would appear everything in you is trying to fend off this memory. Seems you really want to suppress it.
Or I just can't remember.
The memory is still there. You just need to let it happen.
It's easy for you to say.
Perhaps you should tackle this memory in a conscious state. Try and find the place in the woods that you saw. You need an anchor in the present.
If you say so.
And with regards to the hallucinations, I've ordered a medication. It should help to suppress them.
Very good. I'll take it. At least you can rely on conventional medicine.
Please take this prescription and give it to a buyer in the shop. She'll give you the medication.
Oh, she's a pharmacist too?
In a little village like this, everyone has more than one role.
My head's still pounding. Lucky that Murray found me in the woods yesterday. I probably would have frozen otherwise. I should get this medication as soon as possible. And I could ask the inspector whether Murray's finally corrected his statement. And I've got an appointment with the priest, too. It can't be that difficult to find my father's grave. Oh, and I should find that ominous place in the woods. Enjoy it, Darren. It's gonna be a long day. Closed. Strange. The shop was still open this time yesterday. Hey, Zach.
What do you want now?
Did I say something wrong?
No, I'm just a bit busy. The inspector hasn't been here all morning, and I have to do everything myself.
Do you believe I set fire to the castle?
Well, Mr. Michaels, you claim to be Samuel Gordon's son, and you were at the scene of the crime with a smoldering torch in your hand.
I had that to defend myself with.
Against the mysterious secret order that nobody knows about and nobody's seen?
It's mentioned in the Gordon Chronicles.
500 years ago.
Forget it.
And then there was the thing with poor Miss Valley, right? We found your tracks at the scene of the crime.
I told you, forget it. Where's the inspector?
Cafe, I think.
Or maybe you can help me. Has Murray been here about his statement?
Murray? Yes, he was here. Wanted to discuss something urgently with the inspector.
Do you know what it was about?
I can't tell you that.
Abaya's shop is closed. Is today some kind of holiday that I don't know about?
No.
How long are you gonna look for Angelina?
She'll be deemed missing until we find her.
Even if she's long since dead?
We haven't found a body yet, Mr. Michaels.
By the way, I was in the woods last night and I got chased by some black dogs into a shack. I got locked in, but I managed to escape using a chainsaw. Then I fell unconscious.
You just can't help yourself, am I right? And why are you telling me this?
You look so bored. Goodbye, Constable. Just look at that. That's Abaya's mailbox. And there's the post. The package is from a tea supplier. It says here that the customer is Gordon's Palace. Either the postman's quite lazy, or he doesn't like Murray. Maybe I should take the package to him. I'll be dropping by the hotel sooner or later. What else is there? That must be mine. The sender's a drug company. I'll leave the prescription in the barrel, so Abaya knows that I picked up my medication myself. Huh, there's Bobby, the village idiot. Well, no, that's being unfair. He's pretty much the nicest guy for miles around. Hello, Bobby.
Oh, hi, Darren. Is it true that you're evil now?
No, Bobby, you don't need to be scared. I'd never do anything to anyone.
The others said that you set fire to the castle.
You shouldn't believe everything people tell you, Bobby. I'm innocent. I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
That's what Tom says all the time, too. Okay, Darren. I believe you.
Tell me, Bobby, do you know the village policeman?
Yeah, but I don't like him. Tom doesn't like him either.
Are you working here now?
Yeah, but not for money, but for Denise. She's my new girlfriend. I help her out.
I get it. Aren't you working in the museum anymore?
No. Mrs. Puff sent me away.
The mayoress sent you away? How come she did that?
I didn't take enough care, she said. I did lose the key.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. And is Denise happy you're helping her out?
Yeah, she gives me muffins and chocolate.
That's kind of her.
But I don't want to have it for nothing. I'll pay for it later. I don't want her to get into trouble.
That's nice of you, Bobby. You really like her then?
Oh, yeah. Denise is much prettier than Mrs. Puff. She's even more beautiful than the sun.
What's your brother Tom up to then?
I don't know. He's not around much right now. But that's good too. He said he's going to kill you if he finds you.
I'd better be going.
Okay, Darren.
The cafe waiter is a real stiff. Maybe he's just swallowed something rather nasty? I'll just ask him. Hi.
Good day, sir.
You almost look like a waiter to me.
You're absolutely right.
Has the inspector been here yet today?
No, sir. I haven't seen him all day. I've just got here.
And Denise?
Denise has also disappeared.
Both of them not there, huh?
No.
What can you tell me about Willow Creek?
A quiet place. Bad for midwives, they'd find no work here, but ideal for authors, if they happen to write thrillers.
Yeah, or horror stories. It's a nice cafe you've got here.
Thank you, sir. I do all I can to keep it that way.
Aren't cafes a bit uncommon in England?
If you say so, sir. But I think this place deserves an alternative to that drunkard's dive over there.
I'd better be going.
Please, do us the honor again soon, sir.
Hello, Doctor? Can I ask you a quick question?
Of course. Come on up.